Two crates, one ship, one mission that would change the world. The heavy cruiser USS Indianapolis was a flagship. She transported presidents. She survived kamikaze attacks. But in July 1945, her cargo was different. It was the core components of the atomic bomb, the weapon codenamed Little Boy, destined for Hiroshima. Captain Charles B. McVay III commanded her. He was a distinguished officer, son of an admiral, a veteran of 30 years' service. His orders were top secret, maximum speed, no escorts, from San Francisco across the vast Pacific Ocean. 1,200 men were aboard. They knew nothing of their cargo. The destination was Tinian Island, a remote airbase. On the 16th of July, 1945, the Indianapolis departed. Her precious cargo was secured deep within her hull. The ship cut through calm, sun-drenched waters. Her crew believed they were heading for routine duty. They did not know their ship was sailing into history and into a nightmare, one that would haunt their captain for 23 years. He would be court-martialed for what happened next, the only captain in Navy history, to be blamed for losing his ship in an act of war. The US Navy knew Japanese submarines patrolled these waters. Intelligence reports indicated their presence. But Captain McVay was never told of the danger. No warning was issued. No revised route assigned. He sailed into a known enemy hunting ground, blind. The Indianapolis reached Tinian on the 26th of July. The atomic bomb components were unloaded. Mission accomplished. The ship then sailed to Guam for resupply and minor repairs. From Guam, the Indianapolis was ordered to Leyte Gulf. Again, unescorted. Again, no intelligence on enemy activity. A destroyer escort had been requested by McVay. It was denied. Naval Command assumed the route was safe. They were gravely wrong. Just after midnight on the 30th of July, the ocean was dark. A new moon meant no lunar illumination. Visibility was poor. The ship was not zigzagging. McVay had ordered it suspended. Zigzagging slowed the vessel by 10%. It consumed more fuel. He believed the risk of submarine attack was low in that sector. He had no intelligence to suggest otherwise. Below the surface, the Imperial Japanese submarine I-58 waited. Her commander was Lieutenant Commander Mochitsura Hashimoto. He spotted the dark silhouette of the cruiser. He ordered torpedoes fired. 6 Type 95 torpedoes were launched. 2 struck the Indianapolis with devastating force. The first hit the bow. A massive explosion ripped through the ship. The second hit amidships, near the fuel tanks and powder magazines. It was 00:15 on July 30th. The ship was ripped open. A 100-foot hole tore through the starboard side. Power failed immediately. Communications were cut. Captain McVay gave the order to abandon ship, but the ship was already dying. She began to list heavily to starboard. Men scrambled from their bunks. The USS Indianapolis sank in just 12 minutes. Approximately 300 men went down with her. 900 men were now in the water. The ocean was dark, oil slicked and churning. Men clung to debris, to each other. No distress signal had been sent before the ship vanished. No one knew they were there. The survivors were alone. In the vast, unforgiving Philippine Sea, the initial shock of the sinking gave way to a new horror. The sun rose, relentless, blistering. Dehydration began its slow, agonizing work. Saltwater poisoning followed. Then came the sharks, oceanic white tips, tiger sharks. They circled the struggling men. They attacked without warning. The men were exhausted. Many were severely injured from the blast. Many had no life jackets. They slipped beneath the waves. Others, driven mad by thirst, drank seawater. They hallucinated. Days passed. The scale of suffering grew exponentially. Groups of men formed for comfort and protection. They slowly drifted apart. Delirium took hold. Some men fought amongst themselves. Some simply gave up. The sharks were a constant, terrifying presence. The ocean was vast, unforgiving. Hope dwindled with each passing hour. It was the 2nd of August. 4 days had passed since the sinking. A US Navy PV-1 Ventura patrol aircraft flew overhead on a routine mission. Lieutenant Adrian Marks was the pilot. He spotted an oil slick spreading across the water, then shapes, hundreds of men in the water. It was a miracle of chance. Marks immediately broke radio silence. He called for help. He dropped emergency supplies, rafts, water, and food. Then, disobeying standing orders, he landed his PBY Catalina flying boat on the rough sea. He began pulling men from the water into the wings of his aircraft. He saved 56 lives, risking his own. A massive air and sea rescue operation was launched. Destroyers and other patrol aircraft converged on the coordinates. The last survivor was pulled from the water on the 3rd of August. Of the 900 who survived the initial sinking, only 316 remained alive. The rest were lost to the sea, to the sharks, to thirst. The war ended just days later. The atomic bombs were dropped. But for Captain McVay, the nightmare had just begun. He was ordered to Washington, D.C. He was to face a court-martial. McVay was charged with 2 offenses: failing to zigzag in a known submarine area, and failure to order abandon ship in time. He was the only captain in the US Navy to be court-martialed for losing his ship to enemy action in World War II. Hundreds of other combat losses occurred. No other captain was tried. Admiral Chester Nimitz, Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet, initially disagreed. He believed a court-martial was unjust, but Fleet Admiral Ernest King, Chief of Naval Operations, overruled him. King was known for his stern demeanor and absolute authority. Some believed it was a personal vendetta, an old rivalry perhaps, against McVay's father, a respected admiral himself. Commander Mochitsura Hashimoto was called to testify. The Japanese submarine commander brought from Japan. He stated under oath that zigzagging would not have prevented the sinking. The visibility was too poor, the attack too swift. Still, the court-martial convicted McVay, only on the charge of failing to zigzag. He was cleared of the second charge, failure to order abandon ship. His sentence was remitted by Secretary of the Navy James Forrestal. He remained in the Navy. He retired in 1949, promoted to Rear Admiral, a customary honor. But the conviction remained, a permanent stain on his record. He received letters, hate mail, death threats. From the grieving families of the lost, the burden was too heavy to bear. For 23 years, Captain McVay carried the blame. The injustice weighed heavily on him. The survivors' suffering haunted him. The hateful letters never stopped arriving at his home. On the 6th of November, 1968, he died by suicide in Litchfield, Connecticut. He was 69 years old. The story of the Indianapolis faded from public memory, but not for the survivors. They knew the truth of the circumstances. They fought tirelessly for justice. Then an unlikely champion emerged. Hunter Scott, a 6th-grade student in Pensacola, Florida, in 1996. His history project for school brought renewed national attention to the case. It galvanized the decades-long exoneration campaign. Survivors testified before Congress. Historians weighed in with new evidence. Commander Hashimoto, the man who sank his ship, supported McVay's exoneration. He believed McVay was a victim of circumstance and an unfair trial. The US Congress took decisive action. On the 30th of October, 2000, President Bill Clinton signed a resolution. It posthumously exonerated Captain Charles B. McVay III. In 2001, the Navy officially added a memorandum to McVay's service record, reflecting his full exoneration. It was a long journey. 55 years had passed since the sinking, for the truth to surface, for justice to finally be served. The wreck of the USS Indianapolis was found in 2017, 18,000 feet beneath the Philippine Sea. A silent tomb, a permanent memorial to the men lost in the ocean's depths, and to the captain who carried their impossible burden for too long. 2 crates, 1 ship, 1 mission that changed the world, and the man who delivered it was its last casualty.